a wealthy aristocrat, a convicted rapist, a newborn baby, and a desperate 7-week manhunt that gripped the nation. This is the story of Constance Marten and Mark Gordon, a couple who chose to go on the run, living in freezing tents and abandoned sheds, as police searched for their newborn child. What happened next is almost too shocking to believe. Stay with me, because this is a case where privilege meets tragedy, and where love turned into something deadly. Constance Marten's life of privilege. Born into a wealthy aristocratic family in Britain. Educated at private schools, surrounded by comfort and opportunity. But despite her background, Constance was drawn to rebellion and independence. Her family expected her to carry the legacy of wealth and status, but she chose a very different path. That path led her to Mark Gordon, a man with one of the darkest pasts imaginable. But who exactly was Mark Gordon? To understand this case, we have to go back decades, to Florida in the 1980s. Mark Gordon's dark past. Born in Birmingham, moved to the U.S. as a child. At just 14 years old, committed a horrific crime in Florida. He kidnapped and raped a woman at knife point, holding her for hours. Within weeks, committed another violent attack. Sentenced to 40 years in prison, served 22. Released, returned to the UK, carrying the shadow of his past. In 2017, attacked 2 police officers. In 2019, suspected of domestic violence that left Constance seriously injured. Yet, despite his violent history, Constance stood by him. So how did a woman born into privilege become inseparable from a man with such a past? The answer leads us to the events of 2022, and the birth of a baby the world would never forget. The secret pregnancy. By late 2022, Constance was pregnant with her 5th child. Social services had already taken her previous 4 children. This time, she wanted to keep her baby hidden. On Christmas Eve 2022, she secretly gave birth to baby Victoria in a rented holiday cottage. No doctors, no hospital, just secrecy and fear. But days later, everything spiraled out of control. Because just days after Victoria's birth, their car went up in flames on a motorway. The car fire and nationwide manhunt. January 5, 2023, their car burst into flames on the M61 near Bolton. Police searched the wreckage and found something chilling, a placenta. Instantly, alarms went off. There was a newborn baby somewhere. A nationwide manhunt began. For 7 weeks, the couple moved across England, always staying one step ahead. They used taxis, cash payments, false names. Witnesses reported sightings, but they disappeared again and again. While the nation watched in horror, one question echoed: where is the baby? And then came a CCTV image, a brief glimpse of baby Victoria, alive, but not for long. The baby in the teddy bear baby grow. CCTV captured Constance carrying baby Victoria, dressed in a teddy bear motif baby grow. It was the last time the baby was seen alive. The couple were living in a tent on the freezing South Downs in January, bitter cold, no heat, no medical care. Within days, baby Victoria died. Her parents did nothing to seek help. Instead, they hid her tiny body inside a Lidl shopping bag, left in a disused shed, among rubbish. But even with tragedy behind them, Constance and Gordon refused to surrender. Their time on the run wasn't over yet. Arrest in Brighton. After 7 weeks, police caught up with the couple in Brighton. When news spread that baby Victoria's remains were found, the public was furious. What could drive parents to such reckless cruelty? The arrest only raised more questions, questions the trial would later attempt to answer. And inside the Old Bailey courtroom, the shocking details of this case finally came to light. The trial. Charges: manslaughter, child cruelty, concealing the birth of a child, and perverting the course of justice. 2 trials, each lasting 6 months. Constance's mother testified, describing her daughter as misunderstood, with a strong sense of loyalty, even if misguided. Gordon's lawyers argued he was traumatized by losing his other children. But the jury saw through the excuses. Both were found guilty, and when sentencing day arrived, the judge made it clear, their choices had consequences. Sentencing. September 15, 2025, Judge Mark Lucraft KC delivered justice. Both sentenced to 14 years in prison. Gordon given an extra 4 years extended license. The judge told them, "Neither of you gave much thought. if any, to the care or love for your baby. But there was still one detail the jury had not heard during the first trial, and it changed everything. The dark past revealed. Only in the second trial was Gordon's violent history fully revealed. His Florida crimes, his attacks in the UK, his abusive behavior. Jurors and the public were stunned. How could Constance ignore all of this? The answer remains debated. Was she manipulated, or did she choose this path willingly? A tragedy that shouldn't have happened. Baby Victoria's death was avoidable. With medical care, warmth, and safety, she could have lived. Instead, her parents chose secrecy and flight. This case became a chilling reminder of how love, loyalty, and fear can spiral into disaster. Constance Marten and Mark Gordon thought they could escape the system. But in the end, their choices cost them everything, most tragically, the life of their newborn daughter. Was Constance a victim of manipulation by a dangerous man, or was she equally guilty? That question may never be fully answered. But one truth remains. Baby Victoria never had a chance. What do you think? Was this a crime of control, or a crime of choice? Let me know in the comments below, and subscribe for more true crime stories where we uncover the darkest corners of human behavior.